Zionism and the Matrix of Power, Mythos, Logos, and the Struggle for the Future. In an age of universal deception, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. George Orwell. There are subjects so radioactive, so shrouded in taboo, so encased in cultural minefields that even the most ardent truth seekers hesitate to approach them. Zionism is one of those subjects. It has become the third rail of modern discourse. Touch it, and your credibility, your reputation, your very identity may be incinerated in the court of public opinion. And yet, what if that is exactly why we must touch it? This book is not written to stoke hatred, incite division, or vilify a people. It is written in the spirit of truth. It is written because truth, uncompromising, unafraid, unapologetic, is the lifeblood of freedom, and without it, there can be no justice. In an age when entire populations are imprisoned by lies, when dogmas dictate policies, and when mythology parades as history, someone must ask the forbidden questions. Someone must challenge the sacred idols. Someone must break the silence. Zionism, the political movement for the re-establishment of a Jewish homeland, did not emerge in a vacuum. It was born from a centuries-old wound: exile, persecution, ghettos, pogroms, the Holocaust. But what happens when trauma becomes identity? What happens when victimhood is transformed into a perpetual license to dominate? What happens when the oppressed become the new oppressors? The modern state of Israel was founded on the noble ideal of sanctuary, but it quickly became a fortress. And as with all fortresses, it needed an enemy. The Palestinian became that enemy, not by virtue of action, but by virtue of existence. In claiming a homeland, the Zionists displaced another people from theirs. And what followed was a new chapter of endless war, occupation, dispossession, and apartheid. But the issue is not merely geopolitical. It is metaphysical. Zionism is not just a nationalism. It is a mythology. It is the resurrection of a fossil religion, reanimated by modern machinery, fused with Western guilt and military might. It is a relic of the past masquerading as a vision of the future. It is mythos dressed in Logos clothing. This book engages with the arguments of historian Arnold Toynbee, who called Zionism a fossil ideology that disrupted the natural evolution of humanity. It explores the furious rebuttals of defenders like Eliezer Berkovitz, who viewed Zionism as a heroic act of survival. It dissects these opposing views not to take a side between Jew and Arab, West and East, but to transcend the false dichotomies. It asks, how long will we continue to define ourselves by ancient tribal identities? How long will we be slaves to mythos, to blood, to soil, to chosenness? Zionism, like all tribal religions, is a barrier to the Logos future, a future based not on ancient scriptures, but on reason, merit, science, and universalism. It is a past that insists on being permanent, and it is not alone. Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and all the great mythological systems of the past cling desperately to their dying empires. Together they constitute the fossil world, a world hostile to evolution, to progress, to illumination. This book is not just about Zionism. It is about the mechanism by which humanity is held hostage, by memory, by trauma, by inherited belief systems that no longer serve a rational species. It is about the matrix of power in which ideologies become gods and people become their sacrifices. And it is a call to rise, to tear down the walls, Gaza's walls, the ghetto walls, the ideological walls that separate Logos from mythos, to see the world not through the lens of ancient persecution or inherited grievance, but through the eyes of Prometheus, who defied the gods to bring fire to humanity. To dream not of a return to a lost homeland, but of the creation of a new world, a world of meritocracy, unity, knowledge, and truth. In the pages that follow, you will not find politically correct speech or ritualized apologies. You will find hard truths, and you will find an unflinching examination of one of the most powerful myths of our time. If you are seeking comfort, this book is not for you. If you are seeking truth, welcome. Let the deprogramming begin.